Pick virtually any sport, and the following statement rings true. The offense garners the headlines, but the defense wins the games. While the names Fitzgerald, Walker, and Villacorta dominated the local newspaper headline for scoring goals in the mid to late 60s, the names Vostinak, Blevins, Bishko, and Brabham were dominant on the back line. Eugene P. Vostinak commanded outstanding defensive units in that era. While the program was playing musical goalkeepers, it was Gino who orchestrated the Eastern defense from his spot as the last line of defense. Consider this. The Warriors posted 25 shutouts and gave up more than one goal in a match only 12 times in 58 games under Gino's reign, and twice in a season recorded 5 straight shutouts. While the offense in 1969 merited headlines by scoring a national record 101 goals, the defense was quietly shutting out 10 of its 18 opponents. In the regular season that year, the opposition averaged only a half goal a game. Described by the local media as one of the forgotten men on those powerful offensive teams, Huey and his defensive teammates allowed opponents less than 9/10 of a goal per game over 4 years. To be sure, Eastern's legendary offensive machines pummeled many opponents during the regular season, but they relied on the defense for help once the competition stiffened in postseason. Case in point, in first-round losses in the 1967 and 1968 regional tournaments, the defense gave a total of only 3 goals, but the offense managed only 1. In 1968 and 1969, the offense was able to hold up its end of the bargain, and with the defense even tighter, giving up only 1 total goal in 4 tournament games, the Warriors won regional championships and advanced to the Nationals.
In the 1967 Eastern Yearbook, there's a section called, "Do you remember when?" On the first page, there's a picture of Eugene Vostinak clearing a ball away from his goal mouth. The goalkeeper is standing in the background, perhaps 5 yards away. The caption reads, "Do you remember when Gino was always there?" That picture and caption pretty much explain the legacy and contribution of Eugene, Huey, Gino, Gene Vostinak to the Eastern men's soccer team from 1966 to 1969, the most successful era in program history. That picture was taken in Gene's freshman year. The goalkeeper was also a freshman at the time, and one of the most physically gifted goalkeepers ever to play at Eastern. However, that goalkeeper was the only true goalkeeper to play behind Gene, and he played only that one season. In fact, during Gene's career, Eastern used no less than 5 different goalkeepers, most of whom had little or no previous formal goalkeeper training. Yet the team became a powerhouse in New England men's soccer. How could such a thing happen? Because to a large degree, Gino was always there.
So Gino was really the heart of our team. He was the guy we counted on. You just didn't count on him when he was on the field. You counted on him in those early preseason practices, late on an August evening when it's about 95 and you didn't think you could run anymore. He was the guy with his hand on your back trying to help you up that hill one last time before Coach never sent us into the showers.
There'd be days I would be in line and there'd be Huey on the other side of the line and we were going to go one-on-one. And if I could beat him a couple times during the course of the day, I figured, you know what, there aren't too many guys out there that are going to stop me. Then there were those days that you could just see the radar beam coming out of Eugene and you just didn't want to go against him.
Gino really was the heart of our team. He was that guy that was always at your back. I don't know, when we were growing up, there was a TV show called Spencer for Hire. You might have seen it, or you might have read some books by Robert Parker about Spencer the detective. And there's this character called Hawk who mysteriously appears, protects Spencer, gets him out of the trouble that he's in, and then disappears without any accolades. Well, that was Gino. He was our Hawk. He was always there to be at your back. You could take a risk on the field. If you're successful, that was great. It started an offensive attack if you're a defensive man. But if you weren't successful, you knew Gino was behind you. The ball wasn't going to get to the goalie.
A question was put to me, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Eugene as a player? And I stopped and thought about it, and I said, trouble. And it got a bunch of laughs, but it was true. It was trouble. It was trouble for everybody. Usually it was the opponent. We know that defense wins games. So my hat's off to you. Many hairs are out because of you, okay? But enjoy this, you earned it.
He had personality, a likable personality. He drew people to him, He put them at ease, and they responded to him. The defensive unit rallied around him. Through his personality, he created unity, spirit, and camaraderie, and an atmosphere where even inexperienced goalkeepers rose to the occasion and got the job done. I guess maybe you could say he had charisma, although I'm not sure you can say that about a guy who got so nervous before a game that while in our pregame huddle, he'd vomit. It was a ritual that seemed to endear him even more to the other defenders. Whatever the reason, the camaraderie that started in the defensive unit spread throughout the team, and changes from an average team to conference contenders, then conference champions, and ultimately regional champions and national contenders. A few years ago, I stated at this very ceremony that playing soccer at Eastern in the late 60s was a glorious time. We certainly had our share of victories, but when I think back to that era, I don't remember score lines. I remember how much fun we had playing together. I remember it as a glorious, fun time playing together. I think my teammates would agree. And a major reason it was so special for us was because Gino was there. I'm very, very proud to present to you Eugene Gino Vostinak for induction into Eastern Connecticut State University E-Club Hall of Fame.